are you? Hope you're well. I had the idea for this video a couple of days ago where I thought it'd be kind of fun to just collectively bring you along on doing wedding things up until probably a month-ish before the wedding. I don't know, it would just be fun, maybe helpful for anyone that hasn't planned a wedding. I haven't planned a wedding, so I don't know what I'm doing. So I thought it would be fun when I had this idea, I think yesterday, and then this morning happened, and now I'm in wedding planning hell. So first and foremost, I bought my shoes 2 months ago and they were quite expensive, custom made from Greece. I don't want to wear them. I bought them before I had decided what jewelry I'm wearing, and so they're red, but then I'm wearing all golden green jewelry to match my ring, which is gold with moissanite diamonds and a big emerald. So the red just isn't working. It's too much of a color mishmash, and so that's not working. And then also I decided I want to do flats instead of heels, just because if there's one day I want to be comfortable, it's on my wedding day. I mean, that and when I'm like walking around being a tourist, but you know, it's like, it's one of those days where it's like, do I really want to struggle around in heels for 6 hours straight, or do I just want to get a pair of really cute, nice flats? So I did have that change of mind, which really sucks, and I feel terrible that these heels are going to waste, but I will definitely wear them in the future. I think that I'll wear them probably to other weddings. I'll wear them on date nights, things like that. So they won't be going to waste in terms of like never being worn, but they're just aesthetically not the shoe that I need anymore. And also I walked around in them and they're just not that comfortable. It would just be so much simpler to start fresh. So I'm doing shoe hunting today. I have a few options that I'm looking at, but nothing's set yet. I'm going to look through them with my fiance just to try and get some opinion that I'm making the right decision this time. And then also the other thing that happened this morning that makes me in wedding planning hell is we had picked a very specific seating chart. I hadn't seen anyone like it. It was on Etsy and it was really beautiful, and it wasn't according to table numbers, it was according to last name, which I really liked because people would be able to find their tables easier. It's so difficult finding your own name on a seating chart when it's by table because you don't know what table you're at, so you have to look through everything, whereas when it goes by last name, you know exactly where to look for your seats. The Etsy seller deleted the sign, so I have to start all over again, try and find something else from scratch, and it really sucks because everything I'm finding feels like second place compared to that one, and that one really fit the theme well, and it's not going well, which is very unfortunate, but it happens, so you know, there's really nothing I can do about it. But yeah, that hasn't been fun, so that's what I'm doing. I'll probably show you the old shoes and the new shoes once I've decided and fully picked out. But yeah, I'll check back in once we're doing hopefully more fun things, hopefully not stressful things. And also sorry I looked like this because everything happened within 30 minutes of me waking up. So I've only brushed my teeth and washed my face today. I'm still in my pajamas. I'm not even trying to get ready today. It's just not that type of day for me, you know? So I'll also not be in my pajamas when I see you next. Hi! So it is Monday, the 14th of July. I was going to film on the 11th of July, the morning of, but I ended up just being a bit anxious. It was a very hectic day and I just didn't, and then I wanted to film afterwards when I got home to show you, but I had such a bad migraine that day because we drove 2 hours, got my hair and makeup done, and then we drove 2 hours back home. My hair and makeup artist's house was incredibly cold, so I was like rigid shaking for 2 hours because of how cold I was, and so unfortunately I just couldn't find it in myself to film. But I did have my bridal hair and makeup trial. I will insert a little video of what it looked like.
I absolutely loved it. It's not exactly what I asked for. I wanted a much darker makeup look. However, I did end up really loving the makeup as it was. I feel like it really just brought out my natural features. And you know, with the black hair, I'm going to have black nails. Our theme is really dark. I'm hoping that the darkness from everything else complements lighter makeup a bit more. But I really loved it. I thought it looked stunning. Oh my god, my hair never looked better. It was so shiny because she put on a shine spray. And so I really loved it. And then the day after, on Saturday, I went and I bought new shoes for my wedding, obviously. But so I could get them out, but I'm kind of lazy. I originally had these red velvet 3-inch heels. Well, they're a bit over 3 inches. They're 8 centimeters, and they have these little gems on the toe strap. But when I bought those shoes, I wasn't planning on wearing any jewelry except for my engagement ring. And then I ended up buying earrings and a necklace with green gems to match the emerald in my engagement ring. And so I was going to do red lipstick to match the red shoes. And then it just felt like too much with the green necklace, because then the jewelry I'm wearing in the video that I'll put up again is the wedding jewelry that I'll be wearing. And so I just want to not be too colorful, and it felt like red with all that green would just be too much. And so I did that. So I decided to get new shoes. Also, they're a bit uncomfortable. I'm fine walking in heels. I'm good at walking in heels, but my wedding day is the one day where I'm going to have to be on my feet a lot. I very much struggle standing still, and I have to stand still for our 10 to 15 minute ceremony. We have to take a lot of pictures. There's going to be dancing. I just want to make sure that I'm as comfortable as possible. And so I ended up purchasing new shoes, and they're these gold flats. They kind of look like ballerina shoes. They're very beautiful. My dress, which I'll also insert a picture, because at this point maybe I won't insert a picture because this is going up before the wedding. So I won't insert a picture. Actually, they do match my dress, because my dress has like a sandy brown underlayer and then it has ivory tulle over it. And so it's definitely like the absolute darkest shade of ivory, or like the absolute lightest shade of beige. And so the gold complements it really well, and then it matches the jewelry too, and it kind of just fades into the background a little bit. And then they look like ballet flats, and fantasy is kind of one of the themes that we have going for our wedding. And so I think the ballerina shoes with the gown, especially the type of gown with the detailing that it has, I think the ballerina type flat really just complements everything really well. And they're very comfortable everywhere except for on my heel, which I'm just going to, I saw on Amazon you can get like these pillow stickers, and you just stick them on the inside of your shoe, and then it's like a soft little pillow instead of the actual shoe. So I'm just gonna buy those and stick them all over where it hurts, and then I'm good to go essentially with the shoes. So it was very exciting. Did a lot. Don't really have anything wedding related to do actually for the next week. We're traveling this week, and we're flying in 3 days. Today's Monday, we're flying on Thursday, but we're traveling to go visit a friend who lives out of town. It's about a 3-hour flight. Then the next weekend we do have some wedding things, but I think it's mostly smaller things, such as continuing to pick out our songs and going through our playlist. That's like a weekend thing that we do every week. My fiance also did find his shoes Saturday, but the place where he wants to buy them has regular sales that's 30 to 50% off. So he's waiting for a little bit to see if he can get them on sale instead. But he did find the ones that he likes, which is great. Our invitation should hopefully arrive. I think they might be arriving today. And then we are sending out invitations in 2 weeks, which is very exciting. I have no idea if we're sending them out too early. The wedding's in November, but we need a final head count early October for the venue. So the RSVP due date is the 10th of October, and we're sending them out so that they arrive at the beginning of August. So I think that's more than enough time for people to decide if they want to come or not, but I guess we'll figure it out. I don't think there's any right or wrong way to go about it. But yeah, that's really all that we've been up to right now, wedding wise. So yeah.
So it's been a while, sorry. It's been a while since I've spoken to you. This past weekend, it's currently Thursday, I actually went and dropped off my dress to be altered. And that was kind of an ordeal. It was a bit more expensive, not than I budgeted for, but than I was expecting. And so I was a little bit annoyed about that, because what happened is when I bought my dress, the sales associate told me that it fits me perfectly, and if I purchase it off the rack, it can go home with me that day and I will get, I think it was like 20% off. And so just for math's sake, if the original price was 100, she could sell it to me for 80 if I bought it off the rack. It was completely fine. It was just missing a few buttons, and she said they could fix that for me in alterations. And so we were like, yeah, sure, let's do that. And then with the taxes and fees and all that stuff, it ended up being 100 again, which is what I budgeted for, but because I got the 20% off, it was like perfectly priced for me. And so then she gave me a little alterations guideline, and she highlighted everything that she thinks the dress would need, which was a hemming, and then obviously a bustle, just a regular bustle, and then I wanted to have the cups replaced, and that was about it. And so I did the math for that, and I took the maximum amount of bustle pins that you could need, which I think is like 25 or something like that. Luckily I only needed 7, but did the math, rounded up, made my budget. And then I actually go to the alterations appointment, because this was back in February, so now in August, it was on the 2nd of August, I go to my alterations appointment, and lo and behold, the dress didn't actually fit me, which I'm partially relieved about, because it was between that dress and then my second choice, which I'll put a picture up of my second choice. And the only thing about the second choice that really made me sway toward it is I feel like it makes me look a bit more snatched. Turns out that was because the dress that I bought was a little bit too big, and it needs to be taken in like an inch on either side. That's the second most expensive thing, and I didn't budget for that because I was told that it fits me. And so that was a bit of a tough pill to swallow. Luckily though, like I said, when I was budgeting, I rounded up, and so it's still within budget. It was just more than I was personally expecting, but to be perfectly honest, I wouldn't change it. Like, if I could go back and she said, oh, we need to take it in, I wouldn't say no, leave it, because it being taken in, I think it looks a lot better. It sits a lot sturdier, which is nice, because although my dress has sleeves, they're just attached and they don't actually hold anything up. It's still like a strapless dress, and so having it so tight and secure makes me feel very safe in it. And then in addition to that, it gives me the same snatched look that my second option gave me. And so that was nice, at least, but that was just kind of like a weird experience. And then I also started to have a bit of like an anxiety attack halfway through the appointment, because I am in this heavy dress that's like cinched very tightly at this point, and I have to stand very still, and I was very anxious for the appointment just in general. And so I had to stand up there for an hour with pins poking at me, and then I started not being able to breathe. So while this woman is trying to do my bustle, I'm like, and then she keeps telling me don't look down, and I'm like, okay, sorry. It was an overwhelming day for some reason, and looking back, I don't really know why, because the only bad thing that happened was there was an alteration that was needed that I didn't account for, and I mean, it wasn't that bad, you know what I mean? But yeah, that happened, which was an ordeal. But I'm excited. We have the pickup scheduled. It's for in September, so that's nice. My only worry is that the wedding is in November, and so I'm like, should I try it on again in November to make sure it fits me? If it doesn't, what do? I don't know, but it's a bit of a thing. I should figure that out, actually. I think it'll be fine though. But yeah, so that is what's been happening this weekend. So 2 days from now, we are going shoe shopping for my fiance. He found shoes he didn't like, but it was at, I forget what store it's called, but it was at like a They sell multiple brands type of store. I forget what that type of store is called, but they sell multiple brands. And so he found a brand that he usually wears. He really loves their shoes, and he found a shoe that he likes. But he said he wants to go purchase it on the shoe website because they have sales very regularly, and maybe he can get the pair for like 20 to 50% off because they have a lot of sales all of the time, and it's quite large percentages, which fine and fair, you know. But then we go home, go onto the website, find out that the shoes are not on the website. So now we have to go back to the mall to go buy his shoes, and then same day we have to go to where he bought his suit, and we have to drop off his trousers to be hemmed. We had to wait for that until he had the shoes that he's wearing to make sure that they don't hem it too short or too tall. So we have to do that, and then while we're at the mall, I would also like to try and find maybe a dress or two for the honeymoon. I already kind of know what I'm packing, and for the honeymoon, I'm kind of trying to pack things that I'm tired of wearing and kind of just give it one last hurrah and then just leave it there and not travel with it back. Not everything, but some things. Like I have a couple of dresses that don't really fit me right anymore, or they're not really my style anymore. And so it's just like, I'll take them, wear them there, and then when we leave, just like donate them on the way. Or if they don't have donations, I guess just throw them out or something and just get rid of them and then not have to travel home, because we're going to 2 different countries on the honeymoon, and I want to get books from both. One a lot more, but from both. And so it's just, you know, I want to keep space, and it just makes sense that way. I've always done that when I went back to South Africa with my mom, because we would always go for at least 3 to 4 weeks. I think the longest we went one stretch was 6 weeks. And so we would just take all the clothes that they have a hole or two in them. We've had them for several years. They don't fit right anymore. They're not that comfortable anymore. The material's been worn out, whatever the reason might be. Wear 3-4 outfits straight for however many weeks, and then you just toss them there, and then when you get back you can just replace them with new clothes. I quite like that idea, especially because we're not doing anything overly nice on our honeymoon. We're more so doing like nature related stuff. We're seeing historic sites depending on where we are, and so it's less about looking nice and more so about being comfortable and wearing walking shoes and wearing outside clothes. So yeah, so far I'm planning on taking 3 dresses, and then 2 pairs of just little workout biker shorts, and then definitely a pair of jeans and thermals as well. I know that's going to sound so crazy, but once you guys know where we're going, it will make more sense. Yeah, I'm not planning on taking too much, and it's all going to be clothes that I kind of hate just a little bit, so that I can leave them there and not feel guilty about it. We have finally picked out a lot of our songs. I have my walk song, he has his walk song. We have the cocktail hour, the prelude, and the reception playlists roughly figured out, and then we still just need to figure out the dinner playlist, and then we actually need to go through and solidify the songs. But right now we have playlists, they're just not finalized yet, and we officially started practicing our first dance. It's going all right. The problem is the song that we're dancing to isn't really a traditional dancing song, and so figuring out something that works with it is not that easy. We've started doing that every weekend. Last weekend was our first weekend. This weekend will be our second weekend of practicing the first dance. So it's mostly been fun. People are still stressing me out. The person at my venue that I'm communicating with has ignored me for a full month, where I'm emailing her and I keep saying, hey, hi, me again. I need this information. Can you please answer these questions? By I keep emailing her, I mean I've only followed up once because I've already learned my lesson, but she has ignored me for like 3+ weeks multiple times in the last like 8 months or whatever. It's been that like I've been working, okay, not 8 months because she only started a few months ago, but in the last like 3-4 months that she's been working at our venue, there have been multiple times where I have to email her 3, 4, 5 times to get a response, and she doesn't reply for 3+ weeks. I think this might be the longest stretch. That's been like one of the most frustrating parts of the last month, but I would say 90% of wedding planning is going well, and I'm having fun, so.
Hi, so it is the 2nd of September. I'm back with some more updates. First and foremost, I have my wedding trial tonight, which is very exciting. My wedding dress final fit, don't know why I called, whatever. But yes, my dress says alteration has been complete, so I'm going to try it on tonight. I'm going to see what the bustle looks like, and hopefully everything fits and looks good and I get to bring it home, which is very exciting. I'm a tad bit nervous because a part of me is worried that I got it altered a bit too soon, so I'm definitely going to need to try it on again closer to the wedding date. However, I should be fine and it should fit me fine. But yeah, I think I'll have to definitely try it on again after today, which makes me nervous because I have no idea how I'm going to try it on by myself at all, unless I make my fiance like put on a blindfold and zip it up for me. But yes, that is very exciting. I'm very excited to see it on me perfectly fitted. And then my wedding band arrived just a few days ago and it is so pretty. It is absolutely killing me not to be wearing it right now, but it's so pretty. I was so excited to put it on, and I'm so happy that it finally arrived, because where both my engagement ring and my wedding band is from, it's like handmade by the owner of the business, and so it takes a very long time to get to it. So I think I ordered my wedding band maybe in June. And the fact that it's finally here in my hands and I have it and I know it's safe with me, very exciting. We also bought our final decor pieces mostly over the weekend, including the ring box. So once that arrives, hopefully tomorrow, I'm gonna put my fiance's wedding band and my wedding band into that box, and then I will leave an empty space for my engagement ring once it's ready, because I got a 3-slot one, so that's exciting. I'm happy about that. And we got our wedding welcome sign. It's going to be so beautiful. And then we also got our final little decor pieces, aside from a few things that we're still unsure about if we want or not. Those are going to be like the final 2 to 3 weeks before the wedding decision, like, do we want to get them or not. I'm incredibly frustrated as well though, because I still don't know the measurements for the aisle runner, and I have to make it, and I have 2 months to make it. And I mean, I have a job now, I'm busy with other things. I don't know how long it's going to be. It could be ridiculously long, so that is stressing me out a ton, because before I had a lot of time, and so I was like, I'll be patient, I'll let them reach out to me when they're ready. But now I don't have the time anymore, and so I regret being as patient and understanding as I was. But hopefully, I'm really hoping to get it this week. I'm going to annoy the absolute hell out of everyone until I get it, because I need to start making it. Like I said, it could be feet upon feet long, and I'm hand making an aisle runner piece by piece, so it's a bit stressful, but we'll figure it out, hopefully. But yeah, that's kind of all that's going on. I'm not taking you with to the fitting because obviously this is being posted before my wedding, so obviously I'm not going to show you my dress. I will do a dress reveal though after my honeymoon, but that's really it for right now. I will check back in once we have more things to talk about. It's a bit of a weird, hectic week. I feel like I have too much and not enough to do, so sorry if I'm a bit all over the place. Yes, I'm wearing flats to the wedding. I know. I did originally actually have high heels that I was going to wear. They were beautiful, custom made from a woman in Greece. And then I decided I didn't want to wear them anymore. I was getting a bit scared with the heels because I can walk in heels. My wedding day is the one day I need to be comfortable, and my dress is already just very tight. It's a corset. It doesn't have the corset back, it has a zip, but it fits like a corset, you know, and it has the boning and everything. And so it's just like, it's already very tight. I'm already just very stiff. I just want to be comfortable on my feet. And so I ended up getting those flats. They go very well with the dress. The gold fits the color of the dress beautifully, and it looks very pretty. It looks like ballet flats, and my look for the wedding day is very fantasy, ethereal, fairy princess vibes, I guess you could say. I very much want to look like a character from Once Upon a Broken Heart or The Cruel Prince or something, and that's kind of the inspiration that I took in terms of my look. And so the flats with the ballet tie-up, just in the shimmering gold, I felt like it just fit really well with the actual dress, and they're comfortable too. I put a little cushion, like a stick-on cushion, in the heel and then also around the toe, so the leather isn't going to blister me at all. The toes are still quite tight, but because of how it's sewn, it can't expand anymore. And I walked around with them for a while. I don't want to walk around too much because I'm really scared that the ribbon will pull and then I won't be able to be comfortable. And so I've worn them enough, I think, for now until wedding day, because I don't want to ruin them before the wedding day, you know? Like, if they're a bit uncomfortable on the wedding day, but they still look nice, that's the most important thing, I think. I stretched them out with a shoe stretcher. I, as you saw, would blow dry them. When I was doing that, I blow dried them and walked with it because it gets the leather to be a bit more stretchy and expand a bit more. I did 3 different rounds of putting water in a Ziploc bag, shoving them in the shoe, and then freezing it because the ice expands a little bit. So essentially everything that I've been doing to my docks to get them to fit my feet, I'm doing that with the wedding shoes, and it's working pretty well. Like I said, especially because of the cushions at the toes, they're still a bit too tight, but I just don't want to mess around with them that much anymore. Maybe right before wedding week, every day before the wedding, for a week, I'll just wear them for 30 minutes to an hour, make sure that they mold my feet a bit more. I'm not really sure. I'm just very scared of accidentally ruining them and then needing to buy a 3rd pair of shoes, which is not the goal. And then this weekend I'm going to start, and by this weekend I mean tomorrow, I'm going to start on my aisle runner. I will not be filming that because I don't want to give away what it is. Nobody that I know except my fiance knows about this channel, knows that I do this. However, in case it gets found, this is being posted before the wedding, so you're not gonna see what my aisle runner looks like until the day of. I am going to start making that. I still don't actually have the measurements because the venue coordinator sent me measurements, but they're completely wrong. And so I went on Reddit and I just asked, I know it's supposed to be 3 feet wide. Can anyone give me an indication of the length? And someone said 25 feet. So I'm just gonna go based off of that. And once the wedding venue coordinator person gets back to me with the actual proper measurements, I will adjust if need be, but I can't wait anymore. It is currently mid-September. I wanted my aisle runner done by now. I wanted to have made it at this point, and I haven't yet, and it's just, I have hair appointments, you know, I have dentist appointments, I have other doctor's appointments. I have so much stuff on my plate this month. We are trying to finish up. We finished leg 1 of the honeymoon. We need to start leg 2 now. You know, all over again, figure out what the itinerary looks like. And so we just have a ton on our plate. We have 2 batch parties in October because my fiance and I are doing a joint party, but then we somehow ended up having 2 joint parties. So we have those. We just have so many plans from now up until wedding time that it's just like, I don't have time to wait. So if it's a bit of a wrong measurement, then fine, whatever, but I can't wait anymore. So I'm really nervous to do that. I'm genuinely very frightened that I'm just going to mess it up. But if I do, then I will just panic purchase something from Amazon that doesn't match the theme and call it a day, because there is legit nothing else that I can do. Actually, you get the paper one, so maybe I just had an idea. I need to look at that before I forget. So yeah, that's basically what's been going on. I hope you like my shoes. I think they're pretty, and I will see you once I'm doing something else for the wedding.